What's up, you guys? How was your weekend? I hope it was great. We're kicking this review off with the Eels v the Broncos, 14 points to 36 there. Broncos coming out the victors in this one. And if you selected Reynolds over Moses, was probably what helped you win this week and get you in the money for sure. Sean Lane was a pick, and Carrigan, two guys I was pretty high on selecting, and both performed really well. And Payne Haas was the other one that really dominated with the 90. So a mixture of those four guys would have really done the trick for you and got you that win there. Payne obviously going through for a try, and he was really spectacular in some big minutes again. So it looks like he a little bit more back to his damaging best, which was great. And if you're interested in him from now on, I think he's going to be a good selection going forward. And the rest of the guys, there weren't too many people that were too exciting, to be honest. Tessie New, Will Penasini were kind of the standouts in the outside backs there. So if you had a selection of those two and were able to fit the lanes, Payne Haas and also Carrigan, which would have been pretty difficult to go along with Reynolds, and you would have played pretty well. But yeah, Moses not performing as well. Obviously, any of the Eels guys weren't at their best in this one. We moved to the Dragons v the Seagulls in this one, and my selections weren't as great as what we would hope. Ben Trbojevic going off really early. Unfortunate for him, getting 17 points. He was doing great in that time on the park. Kohler was one of my selections, not as great this week. DCE had a bit of a lighter one compared to his normal output. Unfortunately, obviously with them going down, with a few of the guys out, it didn't work out so well. And you're looking at guys like Ola Kawatu, who's been absolutely killing it of recent time. I selected him, and he got the 21, so that wasn't great. Dylan Walker at 9 was a great selection if you picked him up. Josh Aloiai having those up and down, like 20-odd points, 20-odd, 30 points, and then getting the big 70 again with a try. So well done to if you selected him. And then some safe picks in McCulloch in that mid-range. Blake Laurie going out and doing pretty well. Also went for Sipley at that cheaper price, and he was pretty serviceable. But you can see here the team that won this one did a pretty good job there. Jack Bird was a lot better this week as well. So a bunch of guys that kind of did well. But if you're selecting Dragons players, that's where you were winning that week there. The Raiders v Warriors was a better one for me, with some of my picks doing really well. I spoke about Foggs being a pretty special player for this game. I just didn't have the amount of extra cash available, so he got 80.75. Joey Tarpany, Elliott's, two guys that were great selections there. Jazz Tavanga not as great this week. RC was okay with its cheaper price point there. The 33 with that try was nice. You can tell here the winning player still had three guys under 35, so it was hard to fit everyone in that you wanted to in this one. But getting a mixture right between like the Elliott's, Tarpane, and also Foggs would have been ideal. And Matty Tomoko had a pretty nice game there, so that was the way to go in this one. I was trying to work it out. Tavanga having scored 50 the last few weeks was a decent one. There weren't too many other really great options. Josh Papali'i obviously did really well also. So yeah, well done if you picked any of those guys. Panthers v Sharks was the next one I played in, and almost dead last on this one. Not a great one at all. And Chicken Man wins this one. So we look at the potential players. We had some low ones. We had Andrew Fafita, who I just chucked in pretty late as one of my cheap guys, considering he's been getting close to 30 of recent time. I had Eisenhuth, who started and got pretty poor minutes, to be fair. Just the one stint along with a pretty poor score. Isaiah Yeo, the 35s, are spent up on him and didn't get what we needed from that. Sorensen was fine. To'o was fine. Again, Edwards is that one I've been speaking about to be able to get you a fairly consistent score, and he was able to do that, obviously at a little bit more of an expensive price. Talakai was also just fine. Cleary got his 68, but that was really the only one in this game that did well. If you had guys that were scoring around the average, that you kind of end up winning this game. So well done to Chicken Man for that one. It was a bit of a strange one. Let's be honest there. We move to the Dogs v Titans on this one. Next one, a bit of fun. All right, last two to go for me. So for Fafita there with 29 wasn't great. Declan Casey, the 7.9 was beautiful. If you went for Karaz and Addo Carr, I was thinking about Addo, but decided to spend up a little bit elsewhere. Obviously, Burton was the play at the very expensive price. Fafita ended up scoring a try and doing okay there. Fatala Mariner got enough points, thankfully, 41.9 in the end of that game. He had Beau Fermor, a pretty low score from his standards, along with Aaron Booth. So the way that went there wasn't ideal. Well done to A. Wisely with three teams in that top four there. Good stuff. But the winner there being Canova. got it right, really. Aaron Clark was the play again off the bench in 14, so we'll be definitely keeping an eye on him going forward as a potential cheaper player. He will go up in price after this, these 2 good weeks in a row. And Sexton, again, as I was saying, that up and down type of scoring, that 20 and then getting a 60 odd, 20, 60 odd, and it was the 60 odd week this one. I still find it difficult to pick him up. But against some of the slightly weaker teams, even though they got beat comfortably enough, he did solidly there. All right, Cowboys v Tigers. I ended up having a go at this one and scoring fairly well there. Selecting Val Holmes as a real consistent guy this week has been, was the right play. Kapoa there with 41, he did great also. So the outside backs were a big win for me. The big loss was someone like Adam Dewey, who got 31. Luke Brooks killed it and got 78, so he was a nice, odd price kind of player to go for. Hastings did okay. Tuolangi was great for what we exactly needed him to be. So spending up on someone like Robson was the better play than going for an Adam Dewey in this one. And guys like Dearden and Tanoa Brown did the job that you would have hoped for. And Dane Laurie was the sneaky one. So if you went for him, who hasn't been scoring very well, then you would have done really well, like Sharky did in this one. But that is all the ones I went in, and that's the review for the week. It was a bit of a there's only one real strange game, to be honest. Was that Dragons v Manly one. Other than that, it was kind of expected in terms of the results. But I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I hope you got plenty out of it. And you are each and every week. Jump into that description, guys. Hit that sign up link. That would be great if you're heading in for next week. And we will catch you in that next video, guys. See you later.